keep seeming to have some technical difficulties. So here we go. Let's try one more time. All right, now let's see if it adds her in.
We did it!
Oh my goodness! Here she is. Oh my goodness, we got it working finally.
Oh, we did it.
Okay, you guys. So let me do all the official introductions. We're so excited. All right, so again, my name is Zhivi Williams. I am your health, wellness, and fitness accountability coach. I am also the CEO of LBX Fitness. Now, Cammie, who is out of Atlanta, she is Chef Cammie and a nutritionist. So you guys, Cammie is here, and we both, and her probably mostly, we're going to be talking about gluten-free, right? So, Cammie, why don't you go ahead and let's get started.
Okay, so what I want to talk about is, first I'm going to tell you what gluten is. Gluten is just in essence a protein that you find in items like wheat, rye, barley. It's mainly in those type of things. And what it is, it actually shapes and holds food together. So think of it as a paste in food. It can be found in different types of foods like wheat products, like your breads, your baked goods, your soups, your pastas, your cereals. Now, in barley products, which are beers and some cereals, as well as some other grain type products. Now, what happens with a lot of gluten is it's affected by cross contamination. Oatmeal is not naturally a gluten product, but it actually gets cross contaminated because it's manufactured in the same locations as wheat products. Mm-hmm. So, okay. I wrote down a few notes and then I was getting all flustered with coming on. So let's talk about what gluten does to your body. And you guys ask questions along the way and I'll answer all of that. So gluten does damage to something that's called your gut flora, which is a bacteria. It's a good bacteria that lives in your gut. What it does is your gut flora, it helps to regulate your immune system. It sends signals to your brain. It does things like synthesize nutrients in your body, all kinds of good stuff like that. So what happens is the gluten interacts with this and it actually defeats it. It doesn't like gluten. Gluten doesn't like it. So they fight and they counteract with each other. And you know what happens next. When your immune system is affected, your entire body goes into a state of inflammation. So then you get gut inflammation. So those people with celiac disease, and I'll touch a little bit on that later because it's like a whole other topic. Those people with celiac disease, it really, really, really bothers them, and it really interferes with their gut bacteria, and it actually is counterproductive for them, and it causes them to do things like be sluggish, get sick, all of that type of stuff. So I'm not going to be super technical with this because I want everybody to sort of understand a little bit. So, you know, I won't use big words as much as I can. But okay, so what happens when you eat gluten? And what I was saying was those people with celiac disease, it really counteracts. They get super sick. They have a really bad reaction. But those aren't the only people affected by gluten in their diet. You have people that have thyroid disease, eczema, diabetes, fibromyalgia. All kinds of diseases are actually affected by having gluten in your diet. So some of these things, by actually removing your the gluten from your diet and detoxing your body, will help you feel better if you're affected by some of these ailments. Luke, you said, when did gluten show up? Gluten has always been around. The problem is we never knew how to diagnose it because we didn't even know what we were looking for. So now that we know exactly what we're looking for and the protein that's affecting us, and let me just really be honest, it's not just the gluten in the wheat. There are about 2 or 3 other proteins and minerals in wheat that also affect our body and give us inflammation as well. Oh, Sierra, if your son is experiencing this, then what you want to do is you want to start removing the wheat products from his life and from his diet. So if he's eating cereal, eat cereal like Chex Mix. Chex is a rice-based cereal. So
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, let me pull up my PowerPoint because I had some stuff ready for you guys. I'll tell you foods that are actually naturally gluten-free. So all of your fresh fruits and vegetables are naturally gluten-free. Your meats and your proteins, they are naturally gluten-free. You have your nuts, you have your beans, things like that are naturally gluten-free. As a matter of fact, pure wheatgrass, the green wheatgrass, is actually gluten-free. What contains the gluten is the seed of it. So you have rice, cassava, corn, potatoes, beans, all of those things are naturally gluten free. Jean, you said, is it a form of flour? No, gluten is not a form of flour. Gluten is actually a protein that's found in wheat, and most of our flour is made of wheat. So if you get the nut flours, those don't have gluten in them.
Could you talk a little bit about why we should not go on a gluten diet if we don't have celiac disease?
So let me say this. Everybody shouldn't be on a gluten-free diet. Did you notice at the beginning when I said what gluten was? It's a protein. It's still something that's needed in your body. Even though you can think of it as a glue, think about it like this. It's also good in some cases for your body, especially with those bacteria. Sometimes it actually feeds those bacteria and gives your body the energy that protein naturally gives you. So you never want to automatically remove a natural protein from your diet. You want to always keep as much natural minerals and vitamins and nutrients that you can get as possible. You only want to remove things when they're affecting you in a negative way.
And so this does not mean that you necessarily should stop eating bread because you feel like you are gaining a lot of weight from eating bread.
No, see, gluten has nothing to do with weight gain. That's the thing that people keep, it's a trend. We get on these trend diets and we say, okay, hey, if I go gluten free, this is going to make me lose weight. No, it's not going to make you lose weight. What it's going to do actually is detox your body and take those proteins out of your body. Now, if you naturally supplement those proteins with things like beans and a lot of leafy greens that contain more proteins, that's different. But if you're just going gluten free because you want to lose weight, that's a bad idea. Like, you shouldn't even think about going on a diet. A diet is a negative attitude to have. I keep telling people we don't diet, we create healthy eating plans. That means we look for ways to eat so that our body is healed by natural ailments and the nutrients that we find in our foods. And we do it in a healthy way. We don't overcook our vegetables. We don't fry everything. We don't put breading on everything because those are not healthy ways to eat. Most of our ailments and the things that we have in our body, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, that all comes from the way we feed our body. That comes from the fried foods. Every time you go out to eat and you're sitting and eating, you're eating a processed food. A lot of processed food contains a lot of preservatives. They contain a lot of different types of chemicals. None of that is good for you. Anything that you buy and it's frozen, if it's not frozen vegetables and it's something ready-made, it contains a high amount of sodium. So you have to be very careful about what you eat across the board. You don't just want to remove something from your diet because it's a trend.
Right. I think you bring up a really, really good point, and that is we tend to always jump on something that is very trending. And so when a lot of people start doing it, it's kind of like, oh, that must work, basically because a lot of people are doing it. And I always like to suggest to people, you need to do what works for you. Right? So cutting gluten out is not
That's
going
right.
to
You
work
need
for
to
you.
do what's best for your diet, what's best
Right,
for your body.
exactly.
If your body is not counteracting with gluten, I don't understand. There's no need to actually remove it from your diet.
Right.
Well, if you
Exactly.
want to cut down on wheat, if you want to cut down on products like that, that's fine. Don't eat white flour. Eat complex products. Eat whole wheat products. Eat products that are naturally healthy. Stay away from items that's going to add bulk to you if you're trying to lose weight. Now, don't just take things out because you never know what you're missing when you do things like that. The people that are writing these books, these gluten-free books and things like that, they're writing these books because they're trying to help people who are going through the same symptoms and ailments that they are going through. Like I gave you a list of diseases: diabetes, fibromyalgia, hypothyroidism. These are things that, yes, you do need to remove gluten from your diet. Yes, you do need to substitute that protein with something else. But if you're not experiencing leaky gut, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammation of your intestines, anything like that, there's no reason to remove it. Just start cutting back on the bulk items. Cut back on the white flour. Cut back on the white rice. Cut back on the white potatoes. Substitute them for other items.
Okay, now one of the things you mentioned was complex products. What's a complex product?
When I say complex products, I mean things like complex carbs, sweet potatoes, things like that. Wild rice, black rice, those items like that. Those items that give you the nutrients of a carb, but also provide you with minerals and vitamins to help your body as well. A white potato will give you mineral and nutrients of a carb, but it also adds bulk because it's purely carbs. It doesn't give you anything else.
Okay. So now, does anybody else have any other questions? So if you're just joining us, we were talking about being gluten-free, right? So we talked about why somebody would be gluten-free and why you should not go on a gluten, quote unquote, diet. It was also stated that we should not be saying we're going on a diet anyway. We should just be really living and eating healthier for our bodies. Now, you guys, thank y'all so much for being patient with us. Now, Kimmy, is
Yes.
there anything else you want to mention about being gluten free or doing gluten? Anything else about gluten that we need to know?
Well, I just really want to just touch back on it just to give you guys a few tips. Just remember, if you do need to be on a gluten-free diet, some things that you want to stay away from are things like wheat, rye, and barley products. However, nowadays, with this becoming so prevalent and it coming to the surface about celiac disease and other gluten intolerant diseases, it's easy to go in the store now and find products that are actually made that are gluten free. Again, what you want to be careful of is cross contamination. When you go out to restaurants as well, even though items are marked gluten free on their menu, be careful about that. The reason why is because they're still prepared in the same area that they're preparing items that contain gluten. So you will still have some type of adverse reaction to that product as well. Even though nowadays a lot of restaurants are trying to be really mindful and provide, items on their menu. You are right, Cynthia. They really do cost a fortune, but unfortunately, we're gonna try to kick this healthcare thing into gear so that we can get equal food across the board. I'm with you on that. I get clients that come and talk to me about, it's really expensive to eat healthy. It's not. I do a segment every Friday where I go to local grocery stores and I show people how to eat healthy and be healthy on a budget. Like I go and I show you how to find the sales items of fresh food, all of that different type of stuff. But again, just getting back to gluten, those of you who are gluten free, just be very careful in what you eat. We do have access to more things now. People, if you really want to be healthy, just last thing, just eat more natural products, eat more fresh vegetables, eat more fresh fruit, just be more, cook more. If you can't cook, get in my inbox. I'll send you recipes. I don't mind. But just try to eat more naturally. Stay away from products that contain so many preservatives. Try to stay away from products that contain so much sugar. That's not good for your body. Everything in moderation. You don't have to deprive yourself of anything. You just have to eat in a healthy fashion.
Thank you so much. Now, one last thing before we get out of here and that is going to be
Oh,
could
let me
you
answer this question really quick that
okay,
Sierra
yeah.
wrote. If you think you are allergic to gluten, you do need to go to your doctor and talk to your doctor. Yes, there are blood tests involved, so you would have to give blood so that they can make sure.
Yes, that's so funny because I was going to ask, what are some symptoms that people may experience?
So
If
here's
they
what
eat
you're gonna
gluten-free food?
experience. It's with the same thing. You're gonna have inflammation of your intestines. And let me say this: sometimes gluten intolerance, your doctor will what's the word, diagnose you with irritable bowel syndrome, because we're so used to seeing that, and in traditional medicine they're so used to being run of the mill. But please, if you're having diarrhea, constipation, if you're in pain, that's inflammation of your gut, if you see where you're bloated all the time, anything like that, you need to bring attention to your doctor or to your specialist. Let them know. Pay attention to your diet. Write down what you are eating on a daily basis, because this will help you with some of those ailments as well, because you'll find where your triggers are too if you write down. So for instance, if you're eating breakfast and you find that you eat toast in the morning, but by noon your stomach is hurting so bad, it's so bloated and you're so gassy, or you're sitting on the toilet and can't get up, then you need to, probably check with your doctor and let them know. If you're feeling sluggish or you're getting sick and you're feeling like all of your energy is draining out of you, you have to remember this is counteracting with your immune system. And your immune system is what gives you your body energy and what replenishes and rejuvenates and renews your body.
Okay, well, thank you so much. So, Cami, can you let everybody know how they can contact you if they have more questions they're interested in? Now, Cami also, if you live in the Atlanta area, she also does meal planning and meal prepping and all that good
Yeah, I
stuff for
do.
you if
I
you don't
actually
cook.
do meal prep and meal planning for truckers as well. So what my project or my project is right now is I'm working with Dr. Camilla Dixon to help truckers get healthier. So what we're doing is I'm providing meal prep and meal packing, where I actually cook and pack meals, do virtual nutrition with truckers so that they can eat healthier on the road. You can find me on Facebook under RLI Consultants. You can find me on Instagram under at Chef Cami Red. I'm also on Twitter under at Chef Cami Red. I'm on Facebook under Cami Red and Chef Cami Red. My website is under construction, but I have a blog called What's Cooking in My Kitchen. I also have my YouTube page. My YouTube page is RLI Consultants, and I do, like I said, healthy eating on a budget every Friday, and I post nutrition videos with recipes on YouTube as well.
Well, thank you so much, Cami, for joining us. You guys, thank you
Thank
so
you for
much. If you
having
have more
me.
questions, please feel free to post them here. I'll make sure Cami gets them. She'll probably be able to see them also. So thank y'all so much for joining us. I hope this was very helpful. Thank you for your patience as we got things together. So you guys, check her out. You guys know how to find me. You can find me on Facebook. You're already there. You can also go to my YouTube channel, LBX Fitness on YouTube. You can also visit my website, www.lbxfitness.com. And always, as I always like to tell you now, next week we are starting the 21 days to a healthier, 21 days to feeling fabulous, physically and mentally challenged. February 1st is the start date. It's $21. So you guys go to the website, sign up if you haven't done so yet. All right, you guys, we will see you later. Hopefully next time we can do another video and it actually cooperates with us. Bye, everyone.